I go out, I drive home, and I break down. And I'm like, I don't know how to make a budget.
What
I don't know how to make a construction plan.
foundations?
What the
I don't even
fuck?
know
I
what
don't
the
even
hell
know
you're
really
talking
how to
about.
build a house.
What was the first new home that you built?
That I built on my own or that I actually built? Because like if
Fine.
you go way back, I built
Okay, fine. When you went on your
subdivisions.
own, you were a contractor. What kind of
No,
jobs were you doing?
no. When I
Uh,
went on my own, I bought a property at Leslie and Lawrence.
But
I
what
just
about
bought a
before that?
lot.
You were just like, I'm going to start building before you did any of your contracting work?
No, I worked in the lumber yard
You looked
for
in the
my
lumber.
family.
Your first job after the lumber yard was to buy a property and build a house.
No, I went over to the furniture business for a few years.
Okay,
And
after the
then
furniture
when I
business?
turned 30, I
Yeah.
I think I went a little loco and I
Yeah.
didn't want to be in the furniture business anymore. And I
Hmm.
just quit my job and I bought a lot at Leslie and Lawrence. Like I had
Okay.
no idea what I was doing.
No
Got in a
idea.
bidding
But you
war.
sold, but you sold lumber before.
I sold
And
lumber. No, I framed like I headed up like 70 framing crews, 30 trim carpentry crews. I coordinated like 5,000 sets of trusses at a time. Like
yeah,
I knew bits and pieces of building a house, right? We
yeah.
we we did a decent amount of construction for the builders. It
But you
was a
had the
very different
confidence.
market.
You had
I
the
had the
confidence.
well, I kept walking,
You were like,
watching
this is easy.
guys. Every big builder in the city would come in to buy lumber and negotiate and shoot the shit with my uncle. And I would just watch these guys come in and they were just normal dudes, right? Maybe they, had some family money or they were part of an old development company that somebody's grandfather might have started. But regardless of who they were, I mean, they may have thought that they were better than some people, but all of them were just normal guys who like knew something or had giant fucking balls and just had confidence like just brimming from
Mm,
everywhere. And
yeah.
so I would just constantly think to myself as they would walk by my desk, go, if that guy can do it, for sure I can do this. Like there's no doubt. And then I got sidetracked. I ended up in the furniture business for a few years and that was fun and I learned a bunch of stuff. But something in me wanted to be a builder, wanted to be a developer, like wanted to be in this industry.
Hmm.
And so what I don't even know what happened. I was like at the airport. I just turned 30. We were flying to San Francisco to go see Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki and what's his name? Tony Robbins. Like it was a crazy thing. My wife bought me these tickets. And so in the airport, I saw this book that said how to quit your day job. And it just called to me. And I read it on the plane and I was like, I can do this. I'm going to do
Yeah.
this. When I get back, I'm quitting my job. I'm buying a property and I can do this. And so I did it. I
Mm.
bought this property. I got in a bidding war. I paid 651 for this property at Leslie and Lawrence. Is on a street called Kirkdale, 16 Kirkdale. And like
Yeah.
you come out the front door and you see the big Toronto water tower. It was like not the best lot in the whole world, but it was the smallest, cheapest lot in a great area. And I was like, I'm going to build the shit out of this thing. And so I put in my offer and it was like a firm offer, right? Bidding war, crazy,
Who's your agent?
651. A guy named Richard Funt. And if Richard, by some fluke, sees the show,
Call in, Richard.
fuck you, Funt, you piece of shit. Fuck yourself.
All
What an
right.
asshole. Anyways, Richard Funt, go fuck yourself. Thank you. I needed to do that.
All
That's
right.
great. Anyway, so where was I? So Richard Funty, I went away to San Francisco. I left him with a blank check to buy me that property. Get me that property, Richard. I want that property. So I get a call.
What could go wrong?
Right? What could go wrong? Yeah, you got the property. 651. Way to go. Yeah, that's
I know you
amazing.
said your max was 450, but you know
Asking
what?
was
I think
like
it's really
five.
worth it.
I think asking was like 599. Like it wasn't as
Okay.
crazy as these bidding
Yeah,
wars
yeah, yeah.
recently. Like
But
this is
still, 50 grand over ask.
2006, right?
Yeah.
2006, 52,000 over asking, whatever.
Mm.
Firm offer, boom, Darryl gets it. Uh-oh, now what? I don't really know what to do next, right? It's like,
Mm.
oh, I guess I'm going to need a bunch of money. I'm going to need a mortgage, TK. Oh, no.
I
I
never even
just
thought
quit
about
my
that.
job, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got to find a mortgage and I'm meeting everybody and they're all like, where's your pay stub? I go,
Yeah.
I have pay stubs from a month ago, but I don't have anything recently. Well, that's not going to work, right?
Hmm.
You're basically broke if you don't have income when it comes to the banks, right?
Mm.
The major banks.
Useless. Yeah.
Absolutely useless. So I meet, and I mean, I don't want this to come across wrong, but I meet an Indian woman in Brampton for some reason. Anyway, so I get the mortgage. Okay. And then it's like, now what? Now I got to build this thing. I have no
Where's
idea,
what about
right?
the money to build
You
it?
know how I'm learning how
Where
to
did the
build a
money? What do you
house?
mean you just have to build it? Where's the money to build it, Daryl?
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
where's the fucking money?
Where
How
did
am
the
I going to
money
do
come
this
from to
now?
build
Right.
the house?
So
And what
I
does
don't
it
even
cost to
know.
build a house in 20 uh 06, 2008?
I feel like I want to say 250 square foot back then. Maybe it was even
Okay.
200 or
How big is the
180.
house?
Like it
How
was
big is the
crazy.
house? Let's
This
say
is a
200.
3,500 square
So
foot
700K.
beautiful house.
Where do you get 700,000 from?
Check it out on Google
It's
Maps.
still
It's
standing, guys. Daryl knows what he's
16
doing.
Kirkdale Crescent. It's a beautiful house. Looks still drove by it today. Looks beautiful. And I did fairly well on that thing. It was a beautiful build, that first one. It was a lovely day, but I had
Where
to
did the
learn.
$700,000 come from, Daryl?
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Is where did it come from?
Where
So
did it come from? You're beating around the bush.
I'm putting a suit on and I got my briefcase and I'm going to everybody like looking for money. And they're like, nah, I don't think so. Sorry, no, thank you. Maybe go talk to this guy. And somehow I end up at these two old Jewish guys at like Bathurst and Lawrence above one of these old like retail plazas. And I walk in there in my suit and I'm like all confident, ready to go. And I walk in, they start laughing at me, TK. And I'm like, are they laughing at me? Like, that's fucking
I
rude,
didn't
man.
say
What's
anything
going
yet.
on? Like, I look good. I'm bringing
Yeah.
them a
Yeah.
deal of the century, right?
Yeah.
And they just keep fucking laughing. And they're like, you're not a builder. I go, what? They're like, builders don't wear suits. Where's your boots, boy? We're
Oh,
not
they're
lending you any
smart.
money. You're wearing a suit. You're not a real builder. Get out of here. And I was like,
Smart. Those guys.
oh, what
Wisdom.
the fuck just happened
They
there,
didn't check
right?
their fingernails. You know what I mean?
These guys taught me a valuable lesson, but it didn't help. I couldn't find any money anywhere. So
Didn't help. So
I'm
now with
at,
construction boots on.
where am I? I'm at like a bar mitzvah or maybe some kind of Jewish party where like my whole family's there and all the people I've known my whole life are there. And this guy who was my mentor kind of puts his arm around me. He goes, actually, I don't think at this point he was my mentor. Just this guy I've known like my whole life. Okay. He's been in the business forever. He's a big developer, big lumber guy. Like he's just been around forever. And he puts his arm around me, goes, oh, I hear you're a big builder now. I said, yeah, but like I'm gonna lose the property because I can't find financing to build the house. He goes,
But you already secured the financing to close.
to close, yeah,
Yeah.
but not to build. So like, great.
Okay.
Now what, right?
Well,
So
if you hung on to that house and it was just the way it was right now, you would have made a fortune. And did nothing.
uh yeah, well, we'll get to that because
Yeah.
that is definitely a part of the story for sure, but not on this one because this first one was a resounding success.
I
Is the
know, I
end of the
know. I just
first
want
one.
to know the 700K, where'd it come from?
So the guy puts his arm around me at the party. He says, oh, I hear you're a big shot builder now. And I said, I'm going to fucking explode because I can't get the financing. He goes, I know a guy. I'm going to introduce you. He's going to
That
take care
guy.
of you. Right.
Okay.
So I go and I meet this guy, and this is another like titan in the industry, owns concrete forming businesses and owns construction companies and built meat and food empires. Like this guy's major. And he's like, yeah, this is the deal. We'll give you the money and this is the rate. And you're not going to pay us until the end when you close, when you sell the deal. We'll keep the interest until the end and we'll pay all the trades for you along the way. Just submit the invoices and we'll pay them directly. And I was like, what the
This is a
fuck is
miracle.
going on right now?
Yeah.
Is this for real? And
Yeah.
like the
This
rate
is how
was
you borrow
pretty
money.
high, but it was like it's that or nothing, basically, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he goes, just go and make a budget and like give us the construction plan and like off we go. Here we go.
Mm.
And so I go out, I drive home and I break down and I'm like, I don't know how to make a budget.
What
I
the
don't know
fuck?
how to make a construction plan.
Foundations?
What
I
the
don't even know
fuck? I
what
don't
the
even
hell
know
you're
really
talking
how to
about.
build a house.
Yeah.
And I lived in like a new subdivision at the time, and Aspen Ridge was building houses behind me. So I was just watching out my window like every day, watching how are they
Mhm.
doing this? What's next? What's going on? How long did this take? And I'm writing it down, and I'm watching, a few of the houses
There's no
to,
YouTube at
right?
that point
There's no
to like,
YouTube
yeah,
back
to
then.
figure
There's
out.
like no way to
Yeah.
figure anything out. There's no
Yeah.
books on this stuff, right?
There
It's
was,
like
there was a book, but you didn't read
maybe
the
there's a
book.
book, but I don't know how to
Yeah.
read. I haven't read in a long time, and that's
Yeah.
not my style,
In
right?
no
And
way.
plus, there's like a live action movie right in front of me, like a documentary, uh, uh,
Yeah.
infomercial. Anyways, so
Absolutely.
I'm seeing it happen from some of the best in the industry, right? And plus,
Mhm.
I'm doing it regularly during the day, but we didn't do foundations, we didn't do excavations. Anyways, so one day I haven't figured out the budget. I have no clue what I'm doing. I don't know to go out and get quotes from all these people. I don't even know what is part of building what and what trades are necessary. I go into the guy's place and I cry in front of this man in his office. I break down crying. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to make a budget. I just want to build this house. I don't know what I'm doing. And he goes, okay, relax. I'm going to teach you how to make a budget. We're going to give you the money for this thing. I like you. We're going to take care of you. And boom, somehow I got financing. And TK, I did the best job ever on this house. I was there all day, all night. No one was there before me. No one was there after me. I was the
Mhm.
site foreman. I was cleaning up. Me and my brother laid the
You
weeping
bought them
tile in that goddamn
pizza and
house.
donuts.
I was just sitting there with a laptop all the time. Okay. And I built the shit out of that house. And it was amazing. It was amazing. Okay. And it sold quick and the market was good. And boom, made some money. It was like,
Building's
okay,
easy. Yeah.
time for another one. Right. And so around the corner, there's a
Did
house for sale. And
did you call Fund?
yeah, because I still liked Funt at this point. Because
Yeah.
Funt comes in the house one day and I'm in the basement
Did he sell
cleaning
it for
up,
you
and he's like,
afterwards?
we got it on fire. We got it on fire. And I'm like, great. And I think we were asking like 1,750. And I'm like, how much is the offer? He goes, 1,625. It's so great. It's so great. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, it's so great. You're going to make all kinds of money. You can move on to the next one. And away we go. Boy, this is the best thing ever. You got to take the first offer because you don't know if you're ever going to get another one as good as the first offer. And I was like, what? I got to take the first offer? I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm getting. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, let's take it.
Yeah.
Oh, like I did good, right? I
Yeah.
was happy with it, but
Hold
I
on.
didn't know what I was
700
doing.
plus
I'm like,
650 is 1,350.
where did the 750 come from? Oh, you did in your head.
700
Yeah, 1,350
plus
plus a bunch of
650.
interest or whatever,
So
right?
135
Yeah, so
plus
I made
maybe
a
another
couple hundred
100K
grand, 150,
commissions.
180. I
Yeah.
ended up making like $150,000, which I mean, for me back then, don't forget it's
Yeah.
2006. I mean, my
Yeah.
job, I was making maybe, I don't know, 80 grand or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe the one I
Yeah.
left, I was making 100 grand. So I
Yeah.
made more money than I ever made in my life.
Yeah.
But the problem was with that is that I spent the whole year and a half going into my line of credit, all my credit cards, and basically I ended up back at zero after that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Which was fine because the
Because you
learning
spent your whole day
experience was
there
wonderful.
cleaning and yeah.
I mean, if I didn't listen to
You,
that motherfucker Funt, right, and I would have waited for a better
oh, I don't
offer,
know.
maybe
Who knows?
signed
Maybe he
back
was
or
right.
something,
Maybe he was right.
maybe he was right. Well, we'll
And
get
did he
to
double end
another
it?
thing in the, yeah, he double ended it actually. Yeah. Now that I think about it, he definitely double ended it. You had a fucking cocksucker, right? Can I say that on here? That's pushing it. Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.